I'm LaRon Gubler, President and CEO of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, which is presenting this program. Today we will dedicate the 2,635th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame to the late animal activist, Steve Irwin. Now, a special note for those watching today, the stream, and those here as well, this star is located adjacent to Iguana Vintage Clothing. How about that? We always have great locations for our stars. I know Steve would have loved knowing that it was right here in front of this star. Well, let me tell you a little about our honoree, and feel free to cheer for whatever you want. Steve Irwin was an Australian zookeeper, conservationist, and television personality. He was born in Fern Tree Gully. We have some people from Fern Tree, I see, which I understand is a suburb of Melbourne, Australia. Now later, his parents moved to Beerwah, Queensland. We have a few people from Beerswa, where they opened the Beerswa Reptile and Fauna Park in 1970. 1970 was a good year, I remember it. Steve grew up loving all wildlife, especially reptiles. He caught his first venomous snake at the tender age of 6. He would often arrive late for school after convincing his mother to pull over so he could rescue a lizard on the road. By the time he was 9 years old, Steve was helping his dad catch small problem crocodiles hanging around boat ramps by jumping on them in the water and wrestling them back into the dinghy. He always had an uncanny sixth sense when it came to wildlife, and he spent his life honing that skill. In the 1980s, Steve spent months on end living in the most remote areas of far north Queensland catching problem crocodiles. It was there he developed crocodile capture and management techniques that are now utilized with crocodilians around the world. Meanwhile, back at the family wildlife park that was now called the Queensland Reptile and Fauna Park, he worked countless hours with his mate Wes Mannion. All right. Caring for the wildlife and maintaining the grounds. In 1991, Steve took over managing the wildlife park, and a few months later, he met Terry Raines. Now, I understand she was or is still an American naturalist who was visiting wildlife rehabilitation facilities in Australia. And I also understand it was love at first sight, and they were engaged only 4 months later. Is that right? All right. Now, instead of a honeymoon, the couple embarked on filming a wildlife documentary, which was so successful that it turned into a series, and The Crocodile Hunter was born. The show ran from 1996 to 2007 and was an internationally broadcast hit. They also co-hosted several other series, including The Croc Files from 1990 to 2001. Do we have any fans of The Croc Files? Okay. The Crocodile Hunter Diaries from 2002 to 2006. And New Breed Vets in 2005. Steve worked tirelessly to improve and expand the wildlife park. In 1998, he renamed it Australia Zoo, with a vision of making it the world's best zoo. In July of 2006, he created a 10-year plan for his beloved zoo. Tragically, he passed away only 2 months later, but he knew in his heart that his conservation work would go on with the help of his family. He was a passionate conservationist and believed in promoting environmentalism by sharing his excitement about the natural world rather than preaching. And for all of those of you who have seen his shows, you know he had a lot of excitement and enthusiasm. Now today we will remember him by unveiling the Steve Irwin Star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Well, we're happy to have with us today as a guest speaker a man who began working at the Australia Zoo back in 1985. He quickly, as I have mentioned, became best mates with Steve and traveled with him to rescue crocodiles and wildlife for years. He was a regular on The Crocodile Hunter and is currently the director of the Australia Zoo. Please help me welcome Wes Mannion to the stage.
G'day everyone, how are you? Thanks so much for coming today. You can't imagine how incredibly proud Steve would be. But I'll take you back to when I was a little bloke. I was about 15 years of age. I walked into the Queensland Reptile and Fauna Park and I heard this guy jumping on something going crazy. And so I run up to the fence and here's Steve jumping on a 9-foot alligator on his own. And I was like, now this was way before Croc Hunter. I was like 15. And I just seen this guy which I just fell in love with right from that point. We became the best mates. And from that point on, we went on incredible adventures. But in 1991, he met Terry Irwin, of course. And it really was love at first sight. By 92, they were married. And on their honeymoon, poor old Terry and Steve got stuck with me and the film crew. We went out to film Croc Hunter. Steve was the most passionate, amazing guy that you could ever meet. And you can see that in all of his documentaries. And we went worldwide. 500 million people watched Croc Hunter. It was unbelievable. Yeah, and we knew we started to make it when we'd go to Irian Jaya or New Guinea or some really remote place. And like you'd rock up there, get helicoptered in 12,000 feet in some remote location. And like the Amumbi tribe would come out and they got bones in their nose and they'd go, "Crocodile Man!" They knew him, thanks to satellite television, of course. So then we'd go to Africa and we'd be somewhere in Kenya. And the locals would know Steve there. And then we really knew we hit it when we pulled into the McDonald's in LA and everyone just went, "Crocodile Man!" So it was pretty amazing. And then we just basically, Steve, and that passion was you know, just incredible. And he would be so proud today. And more so than anything, he would be so proud of Terry, of course, his incredible wife, who is like my big sister now still, and their amazing kids, Robert and Bindi, who are pushing forward and keeping Steve's dream alive. And to all the fans who back us from day one, thank you so much, and have a great day. See you later.
Thank you, Wes. Let me acknowledge a few guests who are in the audience with us today, and if you'd wave to the crowd, we'd love it. We have another Walk of Famer. He received his star quite a few years ago, and it's about 10 blocks to the west of here. Please acknowledge actor Beau Bridges. We also have with us Captain Paul Watson, the founder of the Sea Shepherd and star of Animal Planet's Whale Wars. Celebrity chef Curtis Stone. Nia Sue from Dance Mums. Comedian Adam Hills. And we have Ross Matthews from RuPaul's Drag Race. We have with us the members of the Australian band Shepherd. And we have Tiffany Espenson from Spider-Man Homecoming. Thank you all for joining us today. Well, it's now time for me to invite up Steve's family to say a few words. And they will be accepting the award in his memory. All three of them are continuing Steve's conservation work by running Australia Zoo and initiating worldwide conservation initiatives through the foundation that Steve began, Wildlife Warriors. So let me tell you a little bit about each of them before I bring them up. His wife, Terry, has filmed. You can cheer for her, of course. She has filmed over 300 episodes of The Crocodile Hunter with Steve, as well as the Crocodile Hunter Collision Course. All right. His daughter, Bindi, has starred in Bindi the Jungle Girl, Bindi's Boot Camp, Free Willy, Escape from Pirate Cove, Nim's Island 2, and she was the winner of Dancing with the Stars Season 21. All right. You know, even the firefighters are cheering on Steve today, right? Now, Steve's son Robert starred in the Discovery Channel's Wild But True. He is a regular on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. And I understand he's an award-winning photographer, so all these photographers out there, be sure and talk to him. So let's bring him up now and ask them to say a few words. Come on up.
Crikey. This is pretty special. Wow. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you so much for this special day. I'm trying to think. Ah, I know. Guess who came the furthest? Rove, where are you? Rove, there you are. And I love Rove because he just flew over from Australia just to be here for this special event. So thank you. You know, I have been so privileged to have had the biggest adventure with Steve. I have to tell you, every single day was like being in the middle of a cyclone. It was incredible. We never knew where we were going to go or what we were going to do. He'd run in and he'd say, "There's been a whale stranding. We're leaving in an hour. We'll be gone 3 weeks." And you just go, okay. So I made this determination to be the yes woman. And I learned from Steve that everyone needs to just say yes to stuff. Because the first thing I would think is, maybe I'm a little bit scared, maybe that's going to be dangerous, maybe I don't have enough time. You know, all the reasons I shouldn't go do something. I'm going to wait for that really cool ambience. Sorry, and I hope everyone's okay. But I found that if you put things off, pretty soon it just becomes an excuse. You're waiting until you graduate. You wait until the kids are grown. You wait until you retire. Don't even wait for the weekend. Just do it now. That's what I learned from Steve. When I met Kalia Ali, one of Muhammad Ali's daughters, Kalia said to me, "You know, I think Steve is the Gandhi of wildlife." That's what I said. I was like, crikey. What do you mean by that? And she said, well, it's like he loves everything. And I thought, you know, that's a really good point. And in this day and age, we cannot afford to be speciesist. We can't afford to say, I love tigers, but snakes are icky. I really love eagles, but vultures are weird. This day and age, we need to applaud, embrace, and look after all our wildlife, especially our apex predators. And if we all take a page out of Steve's book and love everything, we're going to be better people. We're going to have more empathy and kindness towards all living beings. But how on earth do you get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame by being like that? That is the coolest thing ever. So I want to thank you all for your love and support over the years. And I'm going to let Robert say a few words as well.
Well, thank you so much to everyone for coming today. We are so incredibly excited and so proud as well. This is such an amazing day, and it's great to see everyone here. You know, Dad really was the most passionate and enthusiastic person on the planet, and he really instilled that passion for Bindi and I. We've been so lucky to grow up right in the middle of Australia Zoo and have so many amazing adventures with Dad. And I mean, I remember every morning Dad would show up on his motorbike and take us down for ice cream and jump in with animals. There was never a dull moment. So he was the best and most incredible conservationist on the planet, but also the best dad. He always had time for us, was always so incredibly loving and supportive. And I wanted to say thank you so much to Mum as well for carrying that on and for being just the most incredible family on the planet. So thank you so much. Have a great day. It's going to be awesome. Thank you.
So I'm going to lower the microphone a lot because I'm the smallest Irwin. But just first of all, a huge thank you. I look around here today and I see the most amazing wildlife warriors. You guys are all, so a huge round of applause for you guys because you are amazing and we are so grateful for everyone's support. It just means the world to us as a family. You know, we try to continue Dad's legacy each and every day, and we want to make sure that everything he lived and died for continues on into the future. And I'm going to get a little bit emotional because it's such a special day. And just a mom. I have to tell you that, you know, I never in my wildest dreams imagined that this would become a reality. And this is such an honor as a family to continue on in Dad's footsteps. And Mum, you're amazing. And together we will continue to fight for everything that Dad worked so hard for. So thank you for being here today and supporting us. And you know what? We'll always be a family. So congratulations and woohoo!
You did good, Dad.
Well, it's now my pleasure to present you a resolution on behalf of the City of Los Angeles. Hollywood's actually part of the city. We've got a great city council, and they passed a beautiful resolution here in Steve's honor that it's my privilege to present to you. I've been told if you put this in the window of your car, you won't get a parking ticket, but I can't verify that. So why don't we stand over here so the press can get a photograph. Let's have you all hold that and face the press.
Do you want to step up a little bit, guys?
And while they're taking those photographs, let me also let you know that we are hereby declaring this day Steve Irwin Day in Hollywood. How about that? All right, get that photograph. All right. So are we ready to unveil this star, guys? All right, so we're going to unveil the star, but let me tell you, after we unveil the star, we have a special, I wouldn't say a person, no, not a prize, but a special guest who's going to join us on the Walk of Fame, and that would be our very first green anaconda from South America named Angelina. So that'll be fun. So let's do it. Come on down. Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly unveil this star in memory of Steve Irwin.
Is that up here?
Let's go over to the far right here. Let's kind of do a sweep far right. Hey. Nearer right. And then right to the center. And then to the left.
Right up here.
And then if you put your hand. All right, and now we got
Oh, you made it!
Put it right here.
Just give it a second. There we go.
Wow. Pretty, baby.
Stay there, Lorraine. Stay there. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, oh, in or out.
Love it.
And West, there we go.
And back up here.
And straight down the middle, guys.
Start from right, center.
Hard right.
Guys, right here.
And guys, over to the left.
Left middle. Bottom.
Guys, back to your left, please. And right up here.
There it is. Straight down. Mama's not looking. I love it.
Marlena, can we get the Steve picture right behind the family? Like when they're in pictures, can we move that behind the family?
Or next to the family?
Yeah. Or, no, look up.
That's good.
It's gotta be
Right
in.
there. There we go. That snake is not
All right.
There we go.
Looking here.
Thank you.
Straight ahead.
ahead, please. Straight ahead.
Straight ahead. And up.
Straight ahead.
Right up here. Guys, back to your left, please.
You guys. Turn slowly to your right.
Back to your left, right here, please. Okay, we're good.
Slowly to the center.
Left hand.
One more time to your right.
Okay. All right.
Your right again. Robert.
right again.
All right, and one more straight ahead, guys.
And Robert, right up here. And Bindi.
All three of you together.
One more time, back to your left, please. No, the snake should be on the star. You guys should be on the star with the snake. Like on the stars.
Put the snake on the star. Put the snake on the star.
Get it. Right here. Right here, guys. Right here. Right here.
Oh, it is going. Touch the star, guys.
Love it. Oh, wow.
Keep it on the star.
Your head around, Robert.
Stuck his finger in his eye.
There we go. Look up, you guys.
He's over here.
Look up while you pull him.
Hey. Hey.
There you go. Up, you guys. Straight ahead.
I love it. I want to have it.
We got lunch on it. Look up here.
Hey, babe.
That's the right way.
No.
I'll be up in the camera.
Oh, what a...
There's a thick one.
Oh, I love it. We all left, and everyone straight ahead down the middle.
And up here?
And then straight ahead.
Right here in the middle, you guys. Right
Straight
here.
ahead, please.
Right over here. Perfect.
Right there. There's the front.
It's up, boom.
One more right.
Way over.
All the way over.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Folks, we got you. Everyone's nice, just like you.
in the middle, you guys. There we go. Looking right here in the middle.
Straight ahead. Straight ahead.
Go to your left, please.
One right. One more right. I need your phone. All the way right.
Guys, back to your left, please. Everyone.
And all of you straight ahead to the bottom.
One up here. One down here. One down here. Everyone looking here for me. Here.
Just the family so much. I'll see you.
Everybody together.
Excuse me, hold on. Let's do this.
Stay there. Wait. Don't touch the star again. You're amazing. All right. Touch the star. Touch the star again.
We need just the family.
One more time. Touch the star. One more time.
Just the family.
Right in the middle.
Just a little bit left. One more right. All the way right.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Rose.
Congratulations. And all of you touch the star again?
We're just going to do these and then
Then we promise we'll be touching stuff.
What's for lunch? Here we go. Guys, one over here.
One right.
Let me hear on your right. Guys, to your left, please.
Right. And then all the way to the right. And left. Excuse me. Straight ahead. A little bit right. One more right.
And right towards the middle, real quick, you guys.
I made them.
down the barrel. Down the barrel. We're done. We're done.
Right towards the middle.
Yeah, she's basically saying
Right towards the middle, you guys. Looking right here. Right over here.
Everyone to the left.
Everyone looking here.
Looking right.
Yeah, right over here.
One more right.
Way right.
Elaine,
For these lovely people with my sister does.
you're not looking this way.
Way over there.
Oh, so sorry, Bonnie.
You guys hold these guys next.
Sounds good. Right?
Arlene.
Just look around. In the middle?
Oh, sorry.
Got it. Move it along.
The three of them standing.
Right to the middle, you guys.
In the middle?
Hey, look.
All the way to the right?
It's okay.
Steve. Come on, what are you doing? Come on, let's go.
Terry, Robert, please.
Ready? Okay, good.
Oh my God.
Okay, straight ahead, everyone. Well, here we go. Here we go, folks. Straight ahead.
Here, you guys, right here in the middle.
Yeah, we get just the 3 of
Good. Good. Okay, here we go. Straight ahead, folks. Here we go.
There you go.
Right towards the middle, you guys, looking right here. Here we go, guys.
And straight ahead.
Can you twist all right here so we can... Very good. Excellent turn.
Can we get Terry, Robert? Guys,
Hi, pleasure to meet you. Congratulations.
Okay, folks, straight ahead. Here we go. Straight ahead. Straight ahead. Straight ahead, everybody.
Perfect. Straight ahead right here, you guys. Guys, look at her.
All the way right.
Good.
Marlene? That's a good looking stuff.
It's so good.
That's pretty amazing.
It's really weird.
Nice to have you, Steve.
the 3 of them. Rob. They're gonna do like yeah, looks like they're gonna
Yes.